sleeping. Some people might see this as a lot, but if we were to sleep early, then a lot of us can easily sleep 8 hours and have still plenty of time, even before Fajr, after Fajr. So it's a good habit to stay up after Fajr, and that's very difficult if you're going to sleep late. But different people need different hours. Some people can sleep for 6 hours, some need 7, some need 8. So I would recommend, especially, it's good to try to get 8 hours sleep. And in the winter, for example, if you're going to pray Isha, 7 p.m. and you go home, you read a bit, and you sleep, let's say at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. You get 8 hours of sleep. Then you can pray Qiyam al-Layl before Fajr, then pray Fajr, and still have the whole day. Winter is regarded as Rabi' al-Mu'min. It is the spring of the believer. It's the jackpot, if you can call it that. Because the night is long and the day is short. The night being long, meaning we can do ibadah, we can do Qiyam al-Layl easily. All of us can do it every day. Might be hard in the summer, but in the winter it's so easy. And the days are short, so it's so easy to fast. Maghrib's at 4 p.m. now, 3:50 p.m. So it's very easy for us to fast. So it's like earning so many good deeds in such a short time with little efforts. It's a perfect opportunity for us. So I would recommend that a person makes it a habit that after Isha, he doesn't get himself busy and he gets himself ready to sleep. It's not easy to sleep straight away. Some people have sleeping issues. So I wanted to recommend something. Assalamu rahmatullah, Akhi Jamal. Bring a chair and come. La, tfaddal. My recommendation is have a curfew from your phone. So let's say 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. maximum. Don't use your phone. Put your phone on airplane mode. Disconnect the internet, because phones are very addictive. Studies show how addictive they are, how your mind is so attached to it. So if you disconnect yourself from the phone, and to be honest, you don't need your phone after 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. No one's going to contact you. If they are, most messages that you get after 10 p.m., 10:30, be honest, they're all like banters and links and videos, just a waste of time. Check your phones in the morning. If someone's got an emergency, he needs to contact you, you don't need the internet for that, he'll call you directly. And what you should do to replace the phone, buy yourself a small lamp next to your bed and have a book next to you. Read at least 10 pages a day before you sleep. Not only would this make you more intelligent, more smart, you're benefiting, but also it helps you relax and it helps you sleep, because people struggle with sleeping. And it's like we said, sleeping is very important for me to wake up for my ibadah, to pray Fajr, to have a successful, productive and blessed day. So that 10 hours will make you relax, and you will find yourself, especially that the lights are off, the lamp is on, you're ready to sleep, and then you have a peaceful sleep. The opposite happens when you're looking at the phone, especially when it's dark. It's very bad for your eyes, very bad for your brain. When you're looking at that shiny phone, it's not going to help you sleep. It's going to activate your brain. And then you need more time to relax and shut off and sleep. So after Isha, make it bedtime. Very important, subhanAllah.
Any more questions? Let's go ahead.
Islamically, what's like the best way to set goals? Because like we've got like smart goals, but is there anything like the petty or like the Quran, like how to set goals?
What are smart goals?
Like specific, measurable.
Oh right, yes. Okay. I don't know.
Go ahead.
So what is the Islamic way to set goals? So like I said in the beginning, before the goals is the vision. What is my vision? And we said there's two visions. What was the first one? The collective one that every Muslim should have? Yeah, to enter paradise, to earn the pleasure of Allah, to see the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then how am I going to achieve this? By having a mini vision. This will be my token. So I can't tell you what that vision will be. You would know. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "اعملوا كل ميسر لما خلق له." Every single one of you's got something unique, got a particular blessing that Allah wants you to use, and this blessing will guide you to your position in society. It will guide you to what you're best at. People got different skills, different blessings. So you need to identify that. That's number one. After identifying what your vision is, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can use you best for, then you write the plan. Then you set the goals. Then you make milestones. Maybe you will achieve that vision in 20 years, maybe in 10 years. But you need a yearly plan, and a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan. And they're all based on each other. And then you review that plan every 6 months. And I really recommend that every single one of us has a personal timetable schedule. From 4:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., Monday to Sunday. You don't have to follow it 100% because we're not robots. We're not programmed to follow things 24/7. But if you achieve what's in that schedule, 80% of it, that is a big achievement. So you put all your ibadat, we mentioned about ibadat, all your salahs on time, your qiyam al-layl, your Quran, your memorizing Quran program, plan, your seeking knowledge plan, put it all in there. Then you put all your family responsibilities, visiting my grandmother, visiting my uncles, my aunts, my time with my siblings, my time with my wife, husband, my time with my mother, put it all there, write it down. Then put all your study plan, 15 hours of lectures, put it there. 10 hours of revision, put it there. 5 hours of writing essays, put it there. Those who say, I don't have time, they don't know their time. If you were to create that schedule and program, you will still find lots of spare time. Have a bit of time for leisure, have a bit of time for sports, have a bit of time for socializing, no problem. But make sure you're productive. Make sure you're always busy. Free time is one of the biggest blessings. The Prophet ﷺ said, 2 things we take for granted, we're not thankful for, is good health and free time. And wasting time can be sinful. We can be sinful for wasting time because time is so precious, more precious than wealth. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Allah swears by the time. And Allah al-Azim, لَا يُقْسُمُ إِلَّا بِالْعَظِيمِ. لَا يُقْسُمْ إِلَّا, He does not make an oath and swear except with what is great. So time is your greatest and your most precious masdar, your source. So to recap, remember your big vision, find your worldly vision, and then make the plans to achieve that vision. Make a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, yearly plan, then your weekly schedule, and try to follow it, review it, adapt it, improve it, and so on.
What ambition drives you to, achieve your goals?
I think one thing is really important to say, inshallah, is that we as Muslims, we're lacking in the sense that, if I look out to speakers, if I look out, if I look at motivational speakers out there in the world right now, if I go into YouTube and I type them in, they're all there's not one Muslim that comes up at all. And that's not saying that there's not enough good Muslim speakers out there. That's a lie. Some of the best Muslims I know, they can speak really well. The thing is that we don't have that drive, or we don't have that ambition to achieve that. And I think I want to be kind of there's many things that, obviously I want to leave a legacy in that sense, to help the ummah, but to show people from my area especially as well that it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter about the colour. And I know this is getting all preachy. It doesn't matter about we as Muslims, we can achieve great things, but it's about putting your mind to it and actually working hard. I just wanted to add to Ustadh's point, inshallah, is that about goals and setting goals. I think one thing that's very important is that you, okay, I'm only saying this now just so you can see that I've implemented this, not to say anything, yeah? So I really wanted to do a TED Talk. That was one of my main goals, for a year. So my background on my phone was TED, the logo TED. And I know it sounds cheesy, and I know it might sound silly, but it's every time I felt down or anything like that, I'll literally look at it, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna do this. And you know how many times they rejected me? 4 or 5 times. I have photos. It makes me laugh now. Lol, shame. But my point is, they rejected me, but I still would never change that photo, because that's my goal, that's my ambition, right? That's something else I would say, is that if you have a goal, have a physical representation of it, just so that it reminds you. And secondly, Ustadh was talking about being productive, and he highlighted it as well. One of the most important things about being productive is being happy. So like in your week, make sure you find something that's gonna make you happy. Like I know you have we have deadlines, you have this, we have that, but but having that one thing that's going to make you feel happy. Like for me, it was like playing football or something like that. I'm like, okay, I know on Thursday I'm gonna go play football, so it doesn't matter throughout the week if I'm stressed. Like that one thing's gonna make me happy. Does that make sense? So, yeah, that's all right. So, I'm just talking it nonsense. So.
6:25.
Okay, we'll take one more last question, inshallah. The last one, inshallah. So, tafadhal.
This is a question for brother. It's a bit off topic, but it's something kind of trying to think about. There's doctrines in Islam, different madahib, right? So is it a must that a person follows one specific madahib, or you can take ideas from different madahib and implement it in his Islamic life?
Okay. Just to add to what Brother Adam mentioned, I really like the idea of having a screensaver as Ted. Every day he's reminding himself, and there's a big difference between failing and giving up. All of us will fail. All of us will fail in our lives. But when you fail and you learn from your lesson, it's better than doing it the first time and achieving, because you learn twice as much. And failing means that I admit that there's shortcomings and mistakes from my side. Let me learn from it, and next time let me learn from that mistake and avoid it. But giving up is someone who might blame everything on everyone else but not himself. He will never admit that it was his fault. And he mentioned that only 4 times they rejected him. Some people, Michael Jordan, before he became Michael Jordan, the world's best basketball player, he failed and missed so many times. Perhaps more times than he got the ball in the basket. So never give up. The more you have the patience to still aim, still try to achieve your aims, the more likely you're going to be successful and more successful in the future. The brother asked about madahib. So madahib is schools of thoughts. So are you talking about schools of thoughts, or are you talking about groups? Like groups in Islam, Sunnis?
No, not
Well,
that. As in there's some
yeah.
madahib that you do.
Okay.
One madahib says you should do it this way, the other one says
Okay,
you should do
okay. So the schools of thoughts, for example, Shafi'i madhab, Maliki madhab, Hanbali, Hanafi, okay. These madahib, schools of thoughts, they come from the 4 imams who were great Islamic jurists, fuqaha. They all collectively have the same belief system, the same creed, aqidah, and there is no 4 answers, 5 answers, or more than 1 answers when it comes to foundational matters in our religion, or when it comes to matters of creed. There's no difference of opinion. There's only one revelation. There's only one truth with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to the foundational matters. However, there can be, and it's permissible to have more than 1 answer when it comes to matters that are not foundational, branches in our religion that comes from a matter called ijtihad, scholarly opinions. And this existed at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He once told the companions to travel somewhere, and he said, do not pray Asr until you reach this place. So the companions, they were traveling. Asr came in. A group said, we need to pray Asr because, of course, the best deed in Islam is as-salatu ala waqtiha, to pray in its time. And we need to pray it right now. They said, yeah, but the Prophet said, pray it in a new location, in the area where you will arrive. They said, no, what the Prophet meant is be quick so that you can catch Asr there. But if Asr is going to be missed, or Asr comes in, surely he would want us to pray it on time. So they differed. One group said, we're going to literally pray there, and another group, they said, we're going to pray here. The next day, they went to the Prophet ﷺ, and they told him, one group prayed Asr late, and another group prayed it not in the location, early. And the Prophet ﷺ, he did not refute any one of them. He did not say, you're wrong, why did you not follow them? Because both of them, was acting upon evidence. Both of them was taking the Prophet ﷺ's advice. The difference was in their understanding of that evidence. The understanding of the evidence. So we all claim and we all say we follow the Quran and we follow the Prophet's Sunnah, the Prophet's teachings. No one differs with that. But do we all have the scholarly tools to understand the Quran and the Sunnah? We don't. And the scholars, like Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam Malik, they made principles and they had strong tools to understand the Quran and the Sunnah better. For example, they were scholars in the Quran, meaning they knew which verses had rulings. They knew which verses is nasikh and mansukh, which verse comes in this year and which verse came in that year. They know asbab al-nuzul. They know each verse, the reason behind this verse, why was it revealed. They have knowledge on the hadith. They know this hadith is authentic, this hadith is weak. They know what's nasikh and mansukh in the hadith. They are scholars in the Arabic language. They know what the meaning of the words from a linguistic perspective mean. They have knowledge of their environment, their society. So they have these tools that make them give fatwas. So for us as laymen, whatever madhab we take, it's permissible to take it and it's recommended as well. It's recommended in the beginning when someone's learning his religion to study a madhab because it's just going to make everything more organized, more structured for you. And then when you reach a level where you studied your religion extensively, you reach the level of the scholar himself or before the scholar where you studied the text, then maybe you can find that maybe you don't have to follow the madhab. And there is wisdom and hikmah behind differences of opinion, because some of the fatwas could be more applicable and suitable for someone, and another fatwa can be more applicable for him. And the scholar can give fatwas from different schools of thoughts to the person individually because it's more suitable. That doesn't mean we pick and mix. There's a statement, have taqwa before fatwa. Because I can be doing fatwa shopping. Today I want to listen to music. I want to listen to some classical music. Tell you, which scholar said music's halal? Search. Oh, there's quite a few, mashallah. Khalas. Next day, I want to wear a gold watch. So if I don't have taqwa, that's why the Prophet said, istafti qalbak. Get fatwa from your heart. What does that mean? The heart, it knows this doesn't feel right. And the heart knows this feels like haq. Doesn't mean, my desires feels like listening to music. Okay, I got a fatwa from my heart. So yeah, just to recap, inshallah, it's fine and permissible to follow any madhab in Islam because they're not based on the foundation or agreed upon matters. They are branches, and like the companions differed, each one had their own answer. It's fine with us as well, whatever madhab to take. Perhaps take the madhab that most people are upon in your society, in your environment. So for the Somalis, that's the Shafi'iyya. MashaAllah. 90% of everyone here, MashaAllah.
I was going to say something.
Yeah.
Just quickly, inshallah, because we went off topic, I think it's good that we go off topic again, inshallah. So I just want to ask a question that's on a lot of people's minds here. Just like, as we're students and we're at a certain age, just like, how best would it be to find a spouse, basically? That's what the brothers are thinking. I think they're a bit shy to say it. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to ask you.
That's not a short question. Brothers, you want to know the answer to that? How do I get married in Islam, subhanallah? There's certain principles when it comes to finding a spouse. One of them is marriage, brothers and sisters, is a blessing. The Prophet ﷺ said this dunya is mata', beautiful, full of beautiful matters. Wa khayrul mata', the most beautiful matters in this dunya is imra'a salihah, a righteous, pious spouse. And Umar radiallahu anh, he said that after faith, the biggest blessings in Islam is a righteous spouse. So I want to give you a rule. A blessing is from Allah, and no blessing will come through sin. Is that clear? A blessing is from Allah, and no blessing will ever come through sin. I can't become rich through stealing, and I say this is blessings from Allah. So the method needs to be correct of how you get married. ما بني على باطل, whatever starts with falsehood and the wrong way, it will end the wrong way. It will never be blessed. So with marriage, there's hundreds of different methods. I'm not going to get into it, but make sure that it's halal. Make sure that it's permissible. Don't go on these websites, these different websites, they're dating websites. We haven't seen a single website so far that is following the Islamic guidelines. You know, if you want to get married, brothers, knock on the door. Don't come through the window. Knock on the door, be a man, and approach the man. Because men know men and women know women. And we as men, we don't fear anything except men. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed our sisters, our women, with a wali. فَانْكُحُوهُنَّ بِإِذْنِ أَهْلِهِنْ. If you want to do nikah, then you have to do nikah with the permission of their wali, their fathers. Their fathers have insight. Allah gave them insight to know this man is good and this man is not good. 99% of the time. And same with the brothers. Make sure your mother is happy with the wife that you want to marry. Because mothers have insight of who the best woman is for their children. And when we're young, we're naive sometimes. We say our fathers don't know anything, our mothers don't know anything. And they're being unfair. But subhanallah, most of the time, 99%, they have valid points if they reject. And obey your mothers for the brothers. Even if you think she's wrong, there's blessings in birrul walida, obeying the mothers, and same for the sisters. You can find a sister, it's fine to have, you know, attraction, there's nothing wrong with it. Someone came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, I want to marry this woman. He said, did you see her? He said, no. He said, irja' fandur ilayha, go back and see her. So it's fine to see her, to be attracted to her, vice versa. But do it the right way. Speak to her father and make a plan. We were talking about vision and stuff. Make a plan. As a man, you have to be a provider. You have to be working. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to have an income. If they compromise, that's fine, but don't make it the basis. And then use the hadith. Oh, this man, the father, you know, may Allah guide him. You know, he said no to me. Why? Because I'm not working. How can you say that? That's a valid point if you're not working. Yeah, but the Prophet ﷺ, he said that if a pious man comes to you, do not reject him. If he has taqwa and deen. First of all, don't give tazkiyah to yourself that you have deen and iman. Secondly, this is a right in Islam. One of the rights is that you feed her, clothe her, shelter. You have enough means. Don't make it the basis that because I'm pious, I can marry any sister and I have the right to marry her. Perhaps you have to go back, make a plan, work hard so that you're ready for marriage. Financially, you have to be ready. And mentally, you have to be ready by learning, studying the deen. If you find a good sister, there's no harm in approaching her and asking her for the contact details of her wali, and have a meeting with the wali. You can see her in her house with the presence of the family, get to know her. You can have as many meetings as you want until you feel content, she feels content. And if there's khair, there's no objections, you asked about each other, everything's good, then, and you're ready, do not delay the marriage. Set a nikah date, inshallah. You know, make sure you invite me. Do a walima. And barakallahu lakuma, barak alaykuma, jama'a baynakuma fi khair. Nikah is very easy, brothers. Lots of dua, like our brother said. Dua, make lots of dua. Zawaj nikah in particular is ibadah. You know, that journey, Allah will test you. You might go through 8, 9 different houses and it doesn't work out. And the sisters as well, get the wrong guys approaching you, wrong guys proposing for you. But in the end, the right person will come. Allah has planned someone for you. So keep making dua, doing lots of good deeds because that strengthens your dua, and stay away from the sins. Every time you sin, you're delaying your marriage. You're delaying the marriage coming. You're delaying the blessing. Be careful. Lower your gaze. Lower your gaze. This is some of the scholars said the most difficult ibadah of our time is lowering the gaze. So lower your gaze and marriage will come. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallahu khairan. Okay, inshallah. So that's the event there, inshallah. Sorry for going over time, but it's just we just started late, so we just thought we'll cover up for it, inshallah. What we do now is just the snacks. If you guys had some snacks, if you haven't had it yet, it's over there, inshallah. Those snacks are yours. So inshallah, make sure you take some. For the brothers, inshallah, we're gonna pray Isha in the next room, inshallah. And we're gonna have some time with Ustadh and that as well, inshallah. Just Jazakallah khairan, Barakallah feek. Inshallah, we're, for the ISOC, for those that are in the second, third year, there has been a lot of changes in ISOC, so we've decided to do like an event every month. So do keep updated, follow our social medias. The banner has dropped on the floor, but so follow the social medias, inshallah. Just keep updated, come to our events, inshallah. The events are just going to get better and better, inshallah. Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.